Hey everybody,
Together we
not sure
are
why
but
it didn't
first
play.
coffee. Susie's just our host, but what matters most is we are a team. Together we are all safe here, and so are you. Among friends and mods, we are safe. We talk about trauma, break down drama, of life, death, happy or sad, even mad. We discuss it all here. Together we will thrive, not just survive. We will dry each other's tears, celebrate big or small wins, and chase away the fears. Together we fight cults or fight addictions. If not with experience, with love, and we don't judge. Please understand, this is a safe place to land. Please understand, you're not alone. This is a safe place to land. Together we thrive, not just survive. We will dry each other's tears, celebrate big or small wins, and chase away the fears. Because we are but first coffee, and Susie welcomes us all here. Together we are but first coffee, and Susie.
Hey everybody, I don't know what is going on with YouTube and StreamYard. YouTube's been YouTubing and knocked Jan off as a mod again. What the hell is that about? And then StreamYard didn't start my intro until a couple of seconds late. So I'm just like, what in the world, y'all? It's raining chaos around here. It's raining chaos. And that's kind of what we're going to talk about today, actually, in our fourth edition of Vlogmas. Just 20 more editions after today, y'all. Just 20 more days straight of Vlogmas. I am actually having a really good time with it. I really am. Oh, Marilee's shocking. Marilee's internet connection is being a pee stick. Well, ugh. Well, it looks like my YouTube and StreamYard is, so our world is full of pee sticks today, y'all. So anyway, yeah, today we're gonna talk about Christmas chaos, Christmas disasters, that kind of thing. And so y'all be thinking and share with us, the ones that are in here, and if you're here on the replay, put it in the chat. I haven't been getting very many chats or comments lately, y'all. So you people, I know there's a bunch of you that are on the replay. Now, come on now. You're gonna have to share. That's what it's all about, right? We want to hear about your disasters, your chaos. We want to hear all that. Hey, Jaxie. Yeah, PP stick. It's kind of a don't be a PP stick. It's just our way of not getting, YouTube too mad at us, especially in the first few minutes. And y'all, my eye is just driving me nuts today. I'm sorry. But anyway, yeah, today is Vlogmas number 4. And we are going to talk about Christmas chaos, Christmas disasters. And do you have any past experiences that ruined Christmas or should have ruined Christmas, but somehow it turned around and made it epic, or at least years later it's epic? So, maybe epic is pushing it, but you know what I mean. So I'm going to check in with the chat for just a minute. I don't like to waste too much time before we get started because I want y'all to start sharing, and I'm afraid you'll be like, we'll just listen to her talk. Marilee, it is really good to see you. There is Jan is here. Good to see you. Uh, goodness. Encarnasoul is here. Good to see you. And we'll be singing Encarnasoul later tonight too at 8 o'clock Central. We're gonna have our normal, content, and it's gonna be fun, y'all. We're gonna be talking about spirituality, love, and religion, and how it all kind of, blends together, works together, the whole thing, and how it's what makes the universe, right? So, Indigo, good to see you. Indigo's gonna be on next Thursday, I think, and we are gonna have a great show then. It's gonna be about having those hard conversations. So that'll be next Thursday at 8 o'clock. We're gonna talk about having those hard conversations, whatever they are. Like maybe it is, that you want to get a divorce, that you need to change jobs, that you're moving across country, that, you having to come out as gay, or that you're a witch, or that you've left your church, or I don't know, whatever it is, that you're pregnant, you know? Did any of you have to like have that conversation with your parents way younger than what they were hoping for? This is like a all-inclusive, not just any kind of one hard conversations. We wanna hear about them all. We really want to, see how you worked through it. Um, I don't know, how your relationships or whatever it is, your job or whatever, how that worked through it, everything. We just wanna talk. So, Jersey's here. Let me see here. Is it Jaxie VR? Very good to see you. Tiff is here. Good to see Tiff. Cool guy. Good to see you too. Some of these are new names, like I don't recognize a couple of you, but it's good to see you. StreamYard is now streaming us on vertical and horizontal, so we're seeing a lot of new people, and I like it. Anus Khan, very cool name. Don't be a pee stick. Anus Mikey, goodness. Riff, yeah, I'm a man and I'm pregnant. How can that be? That would be an interesting conversation. That would. But it actually is kind of possible. So come back next Thursday and we'll talk about it. So, anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get started. We're just going to have fun. It's going to be a short show today because I do have a much more serious one tonight. So, yeah, we're going to get through this one fairly quickly and just have some Christmas fun, y'all. Just Christmas fun. Okay. So as I've been doing on for the last few days, I just have like I think 4, 5 little questions. I'm going to give my answers to them. Some of them I have pretty decent answers to, some I don't. But I want to hear yours. So please share. Share, share, share. Okay, so what about kitchen chaos? Christmas kitchen chaos. Have you had any like raw turkeys, burnt pies, exploding gravy? Anything like that happen in the kitchen on Christmas? I didn't have any exploding gravy or burnt pies or raw turkey, but I did have an exploding glass baking dish. And we're going to file that under I knew better, right? I absolutely knew better. And so, yeah, not happy, not happy. So, I was making the turkey, y'all, and I had made so many other dishes that I had used all of my large baking dishes, and I didn't realize that I had forgotten to, um, to buy one of those tin, throwaway roasting pans for a turkey or something. And so the only one I could find was one of my glass dishes, and it that turkey, I mean, it looked like a sausage. I mean, it was, like, stuffed into that, but it worked, and I put some, like, foil underneath it on the next rack so that, if it dripped out. Well, so I was basting it and everything, and all throughout there, the turkey is just about ready. But then I noticed that it's not really having much liquid to baste with. So you probably, if you cook much, you know where this is going. I get a little bit of water and pour it into the hot glass baking dish with my turkey in it. And of course, it explodes. So, yeah, I mean, glass went all over the kitchen, all over me, all over the turkey, obviously. Some of it was big pieces, some of it was just like little shards. I don't know how I did not get like cut all over the place, but I didn't. Of course, Mark comes running in there because I mean, I scream and I mean, it made like a loud noise when it did it. So, yeah, no turkey that day. So, luckily, I can't remember who it was. I think it was my aunt had got one of those like, this fancy ham, so we had ham, but we didn't have turkey, and I was just like, "Oh my goodness. Oh, lay down, baby." Yeah. Grand dog has decided that, "No, no, no. Yeah, go outside, Missy. Thank you. I love you, and we'll play later." She's so dirty. She likes to go swim in the creek even though it's cold and then roll in the mud, and she's a golden doodle, y'all. It's awful. We cannot make her stay clean. But so, yeah, that was my kitchen disaster. So I'm gonna check with the chat, y'all, and see if you have any. If you have any. So Indigo, let's see what Indigo's. One year I set my stove on fire. Oh no. Because I made caramel sauce in a skillet instead of a saucepan with higher walls. It was a conduction stove. Ugh, Indigo. Which I can't say anything. I can't say anything. But, yeah, because I mean, I know better than to put cold water in a hot glass pan. So, Encarnasoul says, "I only have a story from way back before I was born of a reason not to let your turkey thaw in the sink overnight. Works for Thanksgiving too." Cat got into it. Oh, no. Oh, yeah. That would be bad. Yeah, I usually get ours several days ahead of time, and I thaw it, like, in a like, a baking dish. I mean, it's got the plastic around it, but I put it in a baking dish and then put towels, like a pretty good thickness of a towel underneath it, so that when it starts thawing, the towel, you know, any moisture that it lets go of goes onto the towel. So, in fact, I've actually got a turkey, it's just a little 10-pounder. I told Mark, I said, "That's just the big chicken." But I've got one in the refrigerator right now because he's wanting turkey pot pie this weekend, and I didn't save any turkey. So, yeah, gonna have to cook another turkey. Yeah. Let's see here. Marilee says, "Oh my god, not Christmas, but Thanksgiving. That's fine. We don't care. Thanksgiving works. Butterball turkey in a shallow pan, oil spilled out, even caught fire. Took it out, cleaned up the mess. Happened 3 more times." Oh, it ended up smoked. Oh my goodness. I bet it was good. Let's see. Indigo looks like the 2 of you shouldn't cook. Yeah, apparently. Uh, Indigo says, "My mom thaws the turkey on a separate dish inside the oven when the oven is off." Yeah, I understand that too. That's a good place to kinda hide it, actually. That makes sense. I hadn't even thought of doing that. But yeah, I do mine in the refrigerator. But if I'm in a hurry ever, that's a good idea. I was so irritated. We're not gonna let Mark know this. He's not home yet. He brought the turkey home frozen last night and he put it on the counter to thaw. And he did put a towel underneath it, but it was a little bitty one. And just the ice that was around it, just that part was running in my floor when I got up early, early this morning to let the dogs out. So, I mean, it had only been sitting there just a little bit, but I guarantee he just forgot it. but I was like, "Ugh." So, Glenda says, "As a family of 4 girls and my mom, we never had a tree that didn't fall over after we decorated." Oh, wow. I used to have to tie mine to the wall because we lived in a really small our living room was tiny. And so I would put, like, all the pretty decorations on the front, and they were kinda heavy. And so then the tree would just kinda lean all the time, and so I started tying fishing line to the tree, and then over on a I put, like, this one of those hooks that looks like a C kind of? I twisted it into the wall, and it just stayed there year round, and then I would hook the fishing line around it to hold the tree up. So, yeah, whatever you gotta do. Hey, Patty, good to see you. Says, "Hey, lovely people, just sliding in to sprinkle some love your way. Susie, consider yourself hugged. Aw, times a million. Meanwhile, I'm over here enjoying making my coffee syrups. Yum, magic in a jar. Ooh, that sounds yummy. I remember you were doing that, and I can't remember what flavor you were doing, but I was just like, oh my God, how do I get some of that?" So, yeah. Indigo says, "I'm actually a decent cook. I just used the wrong pan." Absolutely. Me too. I'm actually a really good cook. In fact, I cried off half my makeup this morning. I actually had it looking fairly decent, but not this morning, this afternoon. But anyway, I like called my dad and was like, I'm making potato soup for dinner and I was just gonna let you know, don't cook. I'm making potato soup. And he goes, that sounds so good. And I said, "It's the one with the ham that you liked so much." And he says, "That's because you're such a good daughter." And I was just like, I mean, he tells me this. It's not like that it's unusual. But for some reason, it just like, I'm gonna cry again. So anyway, it just hit me. And then we talked a minute and he's like, and I said, "Well, I gotta go, Dad. I'm getting ready to do a show." And he goes, "I love you, sis." And I'm like, "I love you too." And then I just bawled and bawled and bawled, like, I don't know, I'm about to cry again. And my dad's very affectionate. He tells me that I'm a good daughter, and he tells me I'm a good cook, and he tells me that he loves me and all that. I mean, he got me a cat, you know? So, yeah. He was also teasing me because, FedEx delivered all the Christmas gifts that I bought up at his house instead of here. And he goes, "You want me to run out there and look and see what open them and see what they are?" And I'm like, no, I don't." So, yeah. Patty, we love you. We miss you. You haven't been on as much lately. We miss you, girl. I know you're busy. I know you are. So, let's see here. I don't wanna miss anybody. Ooh, made Kahula every Christmas. Oh my gosh, y'all. Marilee says she kinda walks away and forgets what she's doing. That's what Mark does. Oh, yeah, yeah, indigo, I do. Um, let's see here. Yeah, I can't imagine, but that just sounds delicious. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Indigo, I don't blame you. Yeah, you have to stay focused because it's a gas stove, so there's an open flame. Yeah, I have to pay attention too. Ours is gas too. Do you know that, like, they're getting really picky? I don't know if it's everywhere, but I don't know if they still are, but when we, had this house built, we, like, we had to, like, sign a waiver to get a gas stove put in it because they were, like, not wanting people to put gas stoves in their houses anymore. So, I don't know. Crazy. I don't know if they're still doing that or not. Aw, I missed you as well. Yeah, I missed you as well. Yep. Absolutely. Absolutely. You guys just take care of yourself. Please, Patty. We love you. We really, really do. So, okay, let's see what the next question is, okay? Any tree tragedies besides we already know about the falling over tree. So, has anybody else got any tree tragedies? Anybody's tree, like if you had a real tree, has it ever gone up in smoke or anything? Or I know one time we were not gonna put our tree up. I don't know, my ex-husband got a wild hair. And we weren't gonna put our tree up until Christmas Eve and make a big thing out of it, right? So we went to get it out because it's a fake tree, y'all. Because I can't have real trees because I have so many bad allergies. And, so anyway, we went and got the tree out of storage and everything, and a rat had ate about half that tree. Yeah. So we didn't have a tree, and, yeah, it was a mess. So he did go, like, cut down some kinda little tree that, like oh, a cedar tree because it was all he could find, and I was sick as a dog that whole night with that cedar tree in the house, and so the next day we took it down. Oh, Patty has a gas stove too. Oh, let's see what this one is. Indigo says, "One year, one of my family's cats climbed to the top of the Christmas tree. 3 of us had to work and get the cat down, but kept the tree up. Good for you." Yeah, I'm really worried about that this year because, I just got my little cat. My dad gave me a kitten just a few weeks ago, and I mean, he's still really little. And so this year it's like, oh my God, there's a tree in the living room. What's this tree doing in here? And he's a climber, but he goes under it. He wants to go under it and hide, but so far he hasn't, he hasn't knocked it over or climbed up in it or anything. Uh, so let's see here. Patty says, "I love you all too. We're doing the best we can and wish everyone a happy holiday. I'll see you. I'll see you before, but if I don't, happy holidays. You still have time to get on that nice list." I know, right? Absolutely. It says, I heard our tree fall in the middle of the night, ran to the living room. Oh boy. Flicked on the light and it was on the plug circuit. I grabbed it and stood up, and hubby came in and said, "What did you do?" Oh my goodness. I want to go live with Mare for, like, I don't know, a month. Because there is always some kind of something going on. It is funny, like, just nothing horrible, just like funny stuff, just like funny stuff. I have a cousin that's like that. The cousin that we got our dogs from, actually, and we always say that if it's going to happen, it happens at Paula and CT's because I mean it. If anything is going to happen, it happens there. If anybody is going to have like she didn't have like a burglar, but she had somebody that was like messing around outside the property, happened there. We had an ice storm, tree fell on their house and tore up their roof. I mean, it's everything. Like, not just disasters though, even like good things. If anything is gonna happen, it happens at their house. Oh, oh boy. Patty says, "Well, the first year Scott and I were married, we had our first big argument, and I used the tree to get my anger out." Oh, that's a hard one to admit, but I was 32 and I'm now 62. Boy, you don't look 62. Oh boy, standing there in your birthday suit holding the tree. Oh my goodness. Patty says, "You sound like you have the catalog we have, Susie. I'm laughing with you, not at you, sweetie." Oh boy. Yeah. It's why is this not working? Yeah. Yeah, this is funny, Indigo. His first reaction, "What did you do?" Not, "Are you okay?" I love it, yeah. That would be Mark, though. He would be, "W what did you do?" Although I say that, but the the other night, I was on the bed playing on my iPad, and I got off the bed, and I was, like, walking, through the bedroom over to come out in the living room and talk to Mark about something, and I looked over, and my dog, Mags, and our little kitten were literally, like, snuggled up together, like, snuggling and asleep, and I'm, like, hurrying, trying to, like, be quiet. I'm sure I look like the Grinch, like, tiptoeing, but you know? But anyway, I'm trying to hurry and get over there and get my phone so I can take a picture, 'cause so I can prove to people that my dogs, like, love each other, or my dog and my cat love each other. And so, anyway, I make it all the way around the bed, go back through the door, all the way around the bed, all the way to my side, and I tripped over our bulldog. And I went to fall, and somehow I turned around and landed butt first, on this. My bed's really tall, y'all. And, 'cause my brother made this bed and he's like 6'5", and he measured it to make it for himself, and I mean, I'm like 5'5" on a good day, so it's like, ugh. But anyway, so I landed butt first on this step that I have to get up onto the bed. Well, I have horrible knees, and so anytime that my knees are higher than my butt, I can't get up. So I sat there for probably 15 or 20 minutes trying to figure out how I was gonna get up. And I thought, "I'm surprised, I mean, I must not have made any noise because Mark would have been in here, right?" So, finally, I'm like, "Mark?" And I heard him, like, jump up from his chair, put his recliner down, and jump up, and he came running in there, and he's like, "Where are you at? What did you do?" Now, our bed is so tall that he can't see me. So, because my head is below the mattress, y'all. Oh, it's a mess. Yeah, I'm a total mess. Ugh. Oh, yeah, yes. He makes me laugh every day. Y'all have such a great relationship. Susie was turtled. Uh, Plus, most of the lights broke and tripped the circuit, and there was glass everywhere. Oh, no. Mare, that's awful. But at least you were okay. I mean, I guess, right? Okay. Let's see what comes next. How about gift fails? So, you know, have you ever given or received something that was like totally the wrong size or just ugly, or, the whole fake ring in the ring box that Mark pulled on me the year that he will never. He thought it was funny, and Susie don't play. Susie don't play with jewelry. So, I mean, and it'd been different even if it was a pretty ring, but it was like something that looked like it had been. I think it had probably been in, like, the toy box, like, the kids had probably been playing with it or maybe out in the sandbox or something. It was awful. So, anyway, yeah. So, if y'all have got some kind of terrible gift fails, I wanna hear about it. So, oh. Oh, no. Patty, you would be so fun to live around. Posted on Facebook things about elves. Funny, my neighbors are a little weird, so I thought I'd wear an elf costume to the mailbox. Megan and I were just talking about this, and she's, like, wanting to get a a Grinch costume, and she had seen one that was really cute, but she can't find that one, and now the one that she found that's really cute is, more than what she's really wanting to spend just for, like, a joke. So, but she wants to dress up like the Grinch and, like, literally act like the Grinch and, like, go places, like, go with me to the doctor, go places where kids are, like at the mall or, at a Walmart or whatever. She wants to go around and like literally act like the Grinch. So, yeah, I can just imagine. Indigo says one year my brother-in-law got really excited about a book series he saw my sister got, but it was actually for me. Oh gosh. Yeah. Like one year I told Mark, this is not a disaster, but one year I okay guys, I could not stand that Sarah Palin, the one that ran for vice president or whatever. I couldn't stand her. She when everybody still loved her, she just like, she just grated on my last nerve. And so I in the interest of being fair, I asked Mark for she had 2 books that were out that, that she had written and was about her and all this stuff. And I asked for those books for Christmas and Mark got them for me. And so I read those 2 books and I couldn't stand her even more after I read the books. So that was kind of a fail in the long run, but I was trying to be fair, y'all. I was like, "Okay." 'Cause I mean, I don't wanna get political, but I'm a Democrat, but I vote who I like. I'm not like a straight party voter, so or I vote absolutely against who I don't like. Sometimes it's the lesser of 2 evils, y'all. Let's just admit it. Sometimes it's the lesser of 2 evils. So, let's see here. Oh, my nose is itching. Mayor, we are just alike on this one. I had several years of hiding gifts and losing at least one gift for our son. Nothing big, but it was pretty funny. Oh, yeah. I don't care how I do it. I I am awful about like losing gifts and then like finding them in March. Finding like a whole box or something of things that I didn't give them. But what I'm really bad about, and so I'm gonna try so hard not to be like that this year, is putting the wrong names on them. So somebody opens a gift and they kinda look, and I'm like, "Oh, no, that one's for your sister," or, "No, oh god, that one's for Curtis," or, all the time. All the time, never fails. I don't know. I've done it always. I have always, always, always done it. I don't know why. And Carnosaur says we did a trick present for my dad once. We had a small gift and put it in a box and wrapped it. And put it in a bigger box and wrapped it in a bigger box and wrapped. That's so cool though. Yeah. That's fun. My mom one time, it wasn't Christmas, but it was my grandparents' anniversary. And I'm trying to think, it was probably, I don't know, like their 30th maybe anniversary, maybe 25th. I don't know. I think maybe 25th because, they were still pretty young. But my mom, she made a cake for them. And then she made this other one this out of a box and like put plaster of Paris on it and everything. And I mean, she made it looked good, y'all. She like painted the decorations on it. It looked my mom was very artistic anyway, but I mean, it was pretty. And then had my grandparents, they went to try to cut this cake that was plaster. And it was so funny. I was very young, I mean, very young, but I remember it. I mean, it made that big of an impression. Yeah. Fun to have fun at Christmas. The Grinch thing is funny. Yeah, that's another thing, like, my sister-in-law, Mark's sister, and I it's not Christmas either, but it goes along with kinda like the Grinch thing. So, when we were in, South Dakota earlier, like, in was it early fall, I guess? I don't even remember when we went, but when we were in South Dakota, there was this train that we took, and it was like a steam train, and so we took this train, and it winds around the hills and all the it was cool, And so, they were always talking about Bigfoot, and me and Karen were both, like, sitting there, like, plotting how we need to go find a Bigfoot costume and go, like, out in the stand out around and let that train go by. Or if we lived there, we could do it, but hell, if we coulda found a costume, we'd have done it, not even lived there. And we wanted to, like, like, stand behind a tree, but not like a big tree that would potentially cover us. Like, we wanted to stand behind one that you're, like, holding like this and you're acting like that you're it. We just thought it'd be so funny for these, people on this train to go by and there's Bigfoot. I said, "Well, we can't do that in Oklahoma, they'll shoot us." There's too many hunters in those fields, there's ugh. Mary says, "So I had to do that to my hubby. He would pick up a gift and know what it was. Drove me crazy. So I wrapped a tripod in a TV box." That is good. You know what I've had to do with Mark because he knows that too. He can do that. And he can, I mean, like he literally can tell no matter what I do, he can tell what it is. And it'll be the most random gift that I mean, not like really random, but he's just really good at it? And so now I don't even bring him home. Whenever I buy him stuff, I just like send it straight to the daughter's house. She wraps it and everything, and then she doesn't like she doesn't bring it out from hiding until it's time for him to open it so that he can't sit there and look at it. Now, when he was a kid, he used to open his gifts and he would even open his sister's gifts and like try to like bribe them, to get stuff with telling them what they got. Now, I was never like that, and I'm still not. I don't like to know what I'm getting before I get it. I love the surprise. So you're not gonna see me sneaking. Gosh, guys, my nose. I There's still some of those, I can't have a real tree, so I put those little sticks that smell like a real tree, and I probably put 5 or 6 of them in this tree behind me. House smelled great, but they're bothering me too. So I've been trying to go in there and, look and find them and pull them out. There's got to be another one still in there because I can still smell it and my nose is still crazy. Your mom always left the price tags on. I have done that purposely sometimes just because, or I've sometimes I'll take them off, but I'll like put them in an envelope with them or put them in an envelope and give them to them later, or, like, especially for stuff that I send, like, if I send it, to family out of state or something. Yeah, it is, it's good for returns. You love a good pine candle. See, I can do candles, but I can't do those sticks. It has to have something, I'm sure that it's like an essential oil, and they probably get it actually from the trees, but I don't know, it must not be strong enough in pine candles, or maybe because I get it, like, mixed with others. There's, like, pine and cinnamon and, all that, so maybe it's just not enough. Is it shaped like a pickle? No, but I did hang the pickle back up on the tree last night, so they're just like little sticks. They look like kinda like an ink pen, but they're green, and you just stick them in the tree, and they smell like a tree, and they do. Hey, Heat, good to see you too. Good to see you. Let's see. What is the next one? We did the gift fails, so I can move past that one. We just have 2 left, y'all. We're moving right along. Okay. How about travel disasters? Has anybody had any missed flights, icy roads? Did you get lost? Anybody get like stuck somewhere? Get, stranded on Christmas, like all the Hallmark movies, somebody's always stranded somewhere, but they always make it just in time. It's amazing that they can be stranded somewhere that if you were trying to get on a flight home, that's like an 8 or 9-hour flight, but they'll make it in the nick of time, just in time for Christmas morning, breakfast and gifts, or Christmas dinner, whatever the thing that they're scared of missing, right? So, yeah. So, no, I've never actually had one. I had my stepbrother and his wife were headed home one time for Christmas and got this one's awful, y'all, but I already thought of it and started. But they got caught in a sandstorm. They were coming from California to Texas, and they got in a bad wreck. It was terrible, and they lost their child, their baby. It was a new baby in this wreck. It was awful. That was the most awful Christmas, and I will never forget it. And anytime that I hear about sandstorms now, it just makes me so scared and I'm paranoid. And and if I'm traveling and they are threatening, that there's gonna be a sandstorm, I'm like, "We are stopping now." So please, this Christmas season, y'all, if they are saying that there's gonna be sandstorms or snowstorms or ice, just stop. It's not worth it. You can visit your family or whoever the next day or whenever. Don't do that because it's not worth it. But, one time my brother, my actual brother, he was in North Carolina working and was flying home, and he got stuck in Dallas, and, he was stuck there for hours and hours, and they thought they were gonna it was an ice storm. We had had a bad ice storm, and anyway, he kept thinking that he would get out, and he didn't, and he finally this was like a comedy of errors, and it all worked out. But anyway, so he was stuck in the airport for several hours, and then he actually ended up renting a truck with some people he didn't even know, like, that were trying to get to different places in Oklahoma, and I was just like, "No, you do not know these people, they might be crazy," and he's like, "I can take care of myself." He had his little pew pew and, all this, but anyway, how he had that, I don't know. I guess if you declare it or whatever, but anyway, he had it. And, so yeah, he drove home on, like, a solid sheet of ice, but he made it late in the afternoon, but he was here for part of Christmas. It wasn't one of those Hallmark Christmas moments, and then he literally had to fly out, like, the next day. So he had done all that just to be here for just a few hours, but we got to see him, and we hadn't got to see him for a while, so it was good to see him. So, does any of you all have any travel horror stories? Yeah, I don't travel on Christmas. I don't either. Not anymore. I did the one time. Well, twice. Um, we were in Texas, but that was a whole other thing. My biological dad, uh, was dying, and we had driven down there and then come home, and then his hospice nurse called me the day after I got home and said, like, "If you wanna see him, you're gonna have to come now, and you're going to fly." And so I flew back down there, and then my husband and the kids came down, and then so we were down there. So that was the last time I said, I'm and my dad did pass away on New Year's Eve, and that was, 1999. So, yeah, that was the last time I traveled on Christmas. We have it at my house most of the time now. So, yeah, pew pew. Isn't that ridiculous? I don't know. YouTube is ridiculous with what they make us do, and probably now they would be fine with it if I said gun. What are they gonna do? Demonetize me? Go ahead, I don't care. Hey, Mr. Todd, good to see you. Yeah, planes, trains, and automobiles, absolutely. Oh, wow, Mr. Todd says we had a power pole down on our way to Christmas. It took them 3 hours to fix everything because the lines on the ground. Oh, so we missed out on that Christmas. Oh, bless your hearts, that's awful. Well, we had it's not travel disasters, but weather disasters. We had an ice storm, a different one, on Christmas one time. Well, it happened before Christmas, but it was still going on Christmas, and we were out of electricity for, like, 13, 14 days. It was terrible. Yeah. So and everybody's like "Well, you have a you at least you have a gas stove," and I'm like, "Yeah, but it has an electric, ignition on it, so you would have to kinda, like, turn it and stick." I had one of those lighter things and st but it scared me to death, y'all. I don't like anything that's not normal, but we did luckily have a wood stove at the time, and we cooked all kinds of stuff on the wood stove and heated water to, take some sort of bath and everything. Yeah, it was cool. So, Indigo sending love to your family. Yeah. Okay, speaking of family, anybody with any family drama? Now, let's not get too drama, okay? Let's not get too dramatic. We don't want no name calling or, anything like that. I guess I should have held this one for when my stepbrother lost his baby, but that was, oh, awful. So, yeah, any family drama? Me and my brother are constantly arguing because we don't believe, like, we don't get along at all about politics. So he's very conservative politically, and I'm pretty liberal. I don't know. I think I sit in the middle, but he thinks that I'm like the crazy liberal that you're supposed to be afraid of, and all the I don't know. He thinks I'm like all this and that, and I don't know. So, oh no, the POS system was knocked out. It's never good when anything is not how it should be. I think that it should be like against the law for anything to go wrong on Christmas. Ugh. Marilee says the only time I traveled at Christmas was last year. Landed in Calgary and it was colder than I've ever been, but got to spend Christmas with my youngest grandkids. Oh, wow. That's cool. That's cool. I am so lucky, y'all. The only one of my kids and grandkids that I don't get to spend Christmas with every year, some years I do, is Lucas, our son, and he's in Germany. And he and Natsumi usually are in Germany or in Japan. And so I've still not yet got to meet the granddaughter, but I will. I will. If we have to go to Germany to do it, we will. So, uh, yeah, but they keep talking about coming back. It's just been strange, the political atmosphere and just everything, and people are kind of afraid lately to, like, come to the US, especially from far, and I don't know. And he has, like, a government job and all this stuff, and he's just, like, nervous about it, so yeah, I haven't got to meet the granddaughter. Her name's Emika. So, yeah, I'll have to show pictures, she's precious. Of course, I have the most beautiful grandchildren. So I have 5, 6, 7, 8 grandchildren and 1 great-grandchild. So, mm. Oh my goodness. Just Tip says, "My grandfather got my grandmother poison perfume and she was livid." Oh, no. It was a rough day, I bet. I bet. I can imagine. Man, if my grandma ever got mad, it was bad. Or if my mom did, but my mom was more inclined to get mad, not necessarily at Christmas, but anytime. But my grandma never got mad. So if grandma was mad, oh my word. I saw her get mad one time. Y'all, this is not Christmassy either. Although it might have been. I think we were at their house for Christmas, come to think of it. Yeah, we were. And they managed a retirement village. Like, so everybody there was, senior citizens and all that. And they were like barely senior citizens. I mean, I have young parents and grandparents. I mean, very much. My mom was 18 when I was born. So yeah, young, young. So well, she turned 19 like 2 months later, but yeah. But so anyway, my grandpa was, a very handsome man, and he had, like, sky blue eyes and blonde hair, and, he was still fairly young. I mean, they were senior citizens, but they were, on the younger end of it, where most of the people were, like, in their 80s, they were in their 60s or something, so late 60s. But so anyway, these women would flirt with my grandpa, and they would, like, bring him Christmas snacks and him stuff, or, they would bring him a little gift or something. Some of them brought her stuff too, don't get me wrong, but some of these ladies, I mean, little old ladies can be something, you know? So, anyway, my grandma, who I had never heard be mad ever, and she's like she comes stomping in there, and me and mom, like, we're looking at each other and looking at grandma, and it's like, "Oh, no, what is going on?" And my mom's like, "What's wrong, mom?" And grandma goes, "Oh, I could just wring that old wig woman's neck. Does she think that we cannot tell that that is a wig?" Which it was true. The woman was probably well into her 80s and had a long, very full black wig that she wore. I don't know. It was clearly obvious that it was a wig, and she had good hair, but when she would get dressed up, yeah, she would put that wig on, and that old wig woman. So it's always after that, it's always we have a family joke about the wig woman. Indigo says they don't remember if they had any family drama on Christmas. Maybe I blocked it out. Yeah, like, one year, my brother had been such a turd about Trump that I put a sign on my door that had, like, Trump, and it had, like, the circle with the red line through it, and it said, "No, Trump talk," and then I put on there, I go, "That means you." He was pissed. You should have seen him though, it was so funny. I mean, because my brother, he's like this big cowboy, he's really nice looking and, 6'5", 230, 240 pounds or something, and he dresses very nice, and he's like, very, like, full of himself and thinks that he's thinks he's it. I love him, y'all, but, oh god. But anyway, I could just tell that he would get ready to say something, and he was over there just, like, biting his tongue. So I would be, like, baiting him, which I know that's not right, but I would literally be baiting him, like, saying everything that I could that I knew that would, like, remind him of something that he wanted to be like, "Well, blah, blah, blah," and bring up Trump, and he couldn't do it because anyway, it was fun. Older sisters get to have fun every once in a while. Uh, yeah, I'm just reading down here through some of them. So, Just Tiff says, I'm doing okay, Indigo. Thank you for asking, honey. How are you?" And then she also said they get feisty. I'm not sure who she's talking about. My brain's not braining, y'all. Tiff says, "Oh, it's me. Soon it's me. I'll be feisty." Yeah. Yeah, it might not be right, but it was fun. Lots of stuff, right? Aw. Lizzie is on my lap listening and watching the stream. How sweet. Aw. Lizzie is his dog. He got a new puppy not long ago. So she's growing though. She's getting big. Oh, yeah. Winter kicking your butt with the cold. Me too. I have really bad knees. And in the winter, and it's been cold here. Like it was in the 30s today, like, I don't remember what it was, but or actually it was in the 20s at one point. But yeah, it's cold. It's cold the last few days. So, anyway, yeah, I think this has been a fun one. I'm like, look at us bonding over chaos, right? Look at us bonding, y'all. So I'm gonna go ahead and go because I have got to finish this soup so we can get some to my dad. And then I've got the show again at 8 o'clock Central tonight, and that's gonna be a lot of fun. So y'all for sure be here. And yeah, and then we'll have shows tomorrow too. I think I have two tomorrow also. Um, maybe three if Aaron doesn't get out of jail, y'all. If Ron doesn't get out of jail, Susie might go live a third time. So anyway, we'll see how tomorrow goes, right? Um, yeah. So tomorrow is the 30th anniversary of the death of Lisa McPherson, who died while in the care of Scientology. And so I'm going to do a show on Lisa McPherson. And so, yeah, that'll be interesting. We'll also have our Vlogmas. So we're going to have at least two shows tomorrow. And then I think I'm back to one on Saturday and then two on Sunday. So, yeah. Anyway, hey, pizza, good to see you. Coming in at the end. Yeah, good afternoon to you too, sir. Don't know why my dogs are barking, but they are. But anyway, I'm gonna go. Thank you guys for being here with me, and I will see you guys later tonight. Love you guys. Bye.
Hope you enjoyed the show, so glad you were here. We meet here most days, we're but first coffee and you're welcome here. We talk about hard subjects, but we also laugh a lot. If you have a loss or win, we will cheer for you. We're but first coffee and you are safe here. So hit those like and subscribe buttons, notifications set to all. You don't wanna miss a show, because this is your home to y'all. So hit those like and subscribe buttons, notifications set to all. You don't wanna miss a show, because this is your home to y'all. So hit those like and subscribe buttons.